It is uncomfortable. I don't think, because she's done this before for photos, I don't think that is a real baby bump. I think
way too big. It's way too big.
And sort of too low as well.
Yeah, it's like a metre out there. I mean, it looks the wrong shape.
Where's she going to give birth there? Through her knees or something? I mean, that is too low.
Have you ever witnessed a story fall apart right before your eyes? Like watching a polished stage performance unravel as the curtain slowly slips, revealing a truth no one was prepared for. That's exactly what's unfolding with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Once hailed as courageous truth-tellers and victims of royal injustice, their image is now under fire. A royal insider has reportedly detonated a bombshell that threatens to dismantle everything they've built. A palace doctor, someone with direct access to royal medical records, has allegedly claimed Meghan never carried either of her children. This isn't internet speculation or a wild Reddit theory. This is said to come from deep within the palace walls. And the consequences? Enormous. We're not just talking scandal, we're talking about the unraveling of a billion-dollar empire built on motherhood, resilience, and media savvy. What once looked like a royal fairy tale now feels like a staged performance. And the couple's silence? It's screaming.
It is uncomfortable. I don't think, because she's done this before for photos, I don't think that is a real baby bump. I think
way too big. It's way too big.
And sort of too low as well.
Yeah, it's like a metre out there. I mean, it looks the wrong shape.
Where's she going to give birth there? Through her knees or something? I mean, that is too low.
At the heart of this explosive scandal lies one jaw-dropping allegation. A royal doctor, allegedly with direct access to Meghan Markle's confidential medical records, claims she never carried either of her pregnancies. This isn't coming from some fringe conspiracy blog or a bitter royal commentator. The source is said to be someone deeply embedded within the palace's own medical infrastructure. Their identity remains hidden for legal and safety reasons, but the gravity of their claim is impossible to ignore. If true, it completely rewrites Meghan's entire narrative of motherhood. Every public belly rub, every radiant maternity photo, every heartfelt interview, it's all now clouded in doubt. Insiders say whispers about the truth had been circulating behind palace walls for years, but this alleged confirmation has sent panic through the royal inner circle. Because if this claim holds, the world wasn't celebrating a royal miracle, it was applauding an elaborate, well-staged illusion.
They're putting themselves on the world stage using expensive PR while demanding privacy, while writing books, while being on Oprah that had 50 million viewers. People who want privacy don't do that. You live your life quietly in privacy. So it's such hypocrisy. I think they did a brilliant job.
There's a fine line between protecting one's privacy and deliberately misleading the public. And if Meghan and Harry truly faked not one, but two pregnancies, they didn't just cross that line, they obliterated it. This goes far beyond shielding children from the media. It's about constructing and performing a narrative that was never real. In the royal world, image isn't just important, it's sacred. Royal pregnancies are more than personal milestones. They're historic events tied to legacy, duty, and national symbolism. To fake such moments for public consumption is not just deception, it's betrayal on an institutional level. This isn't a typical celebrity cover-up or a PR blunder. It strikes at the heart of royal tradition. Maternity within the monarchy symbolizes stability, succession, and the future. If Meghan manipulated that symbolism for personal gain, the consequences won't just be damaging, they'll be seismic. The House of Windsor has weathered many storms, but this one hits the crown's core.
It makes them newsworthy. So you either then ignore what people are talking about and debating and having all the silly stuff about the fake pump and so on, or you embrace it and we do a debate and it's always the same stuff, right? You two are never going to give an inch. I'm never going to give an inch the other way. We're losing time from our lives. We're never going to get back.
The most unsettling part of this scandal isn't the accusation, it's the silence. Meghan and Harry, once relentless in telling their side through interviews, Netflix deals, and podcasts, have suddenly vanished from the conversation. No social media posts, no press statements, not even a legal threat. And in that eerie silence, the public's curiosity is turning into suspicion. When a claim this massive surfaces, people expect a response, especially from two individuals who've never hesitated to speak their truth. The same couple who sat with Oprah and accused the royals of racism now won't utter a word. That's not just strange, it's suspicious. Because silence in the face of fire doesn't read as strength, it reads as surrender. And for fans who once believed in their story, the quiet feels like betrayal. In a world driven by transparency, saying nothing speaks volumes. And right now, their silence is deafening and damning.
If you think about it, Meghan got everything she wanted. She got the husband, she got the children, she got the HRA, she got everything that allowed her to rise up and to have that global recognition that we know how badly she wanted that.
Let's be clear, surrogacy isn't shameful. Many public figures have embraced it openly, and society has largely accepted it. The outrage here isn't about how the children were born, it's about the alleged deception surrounding it. If Meghan and Harry had simply acknowledged using a surrogate, they likely would have received support or at least understanding, but instead they're accused of fabricating an entire storyline, faking baby bumps, staging maternity photos, and delivering emotional interviews, all to sell a narrative. And that's where the betrayal cuts deep. This wasn't just a personal choice. Insiders now suggest it was a calculated PR strategy. Meghan's brand has always been built on motherhood, vulnerability, and resilience, and that brand has fueled Netflix deals, speaking engagements, and public sympathy. But if that emotional foundation was never real, then the authenticity she marketed was nothing more than a performance. What should have been a chance for honesty instead became manipulation, weaponizing motherhood as a tool for fame, money, and control.
These two are not sincere people. They say that they want their privacy while going on every television show, writing books, doing 6 hours of Netflix. They're not very likable, and people are tired of.
If Meghan truly faked her pregnancies, did Harry know? Insiders say yes. He wasn't just along for the ride. He allegedly played a part in the illusion that shifts the story from personal deception to a carefully crafted brand strategy, where Harry wasn't a bystander but a co-star. The tender moments once seen as genuine, him cradling her bump or smiling through interviews, now look like rehearsed performances. For fans who saw Harry as the grounded, honest royal, this cuts deep. But beyond the alleged lie, there's growing concern for Harry's well-being. Sources say he's withdrawn from friends, family, and former allies, surrounded now by a tight circle reportedly controlled by Meghan. Some insiders fear he's emotionally dependent, possibly being isolated from those who care about him. Palace-connected professionals are quietly alarmed, suggesting this may be more than just a scandal. It might be a deeper personal crisis.
Here, professionally working as a separate entity. Look, the beautiful pictures of Harry in Vancouver, the big smile, he's so engaged, and Arthur Edwards, of course, who's followed him around the world as a Sun Royal photographer, made the point that he was really seeing the Harry of old. And it's been wonderful to see that. So,
and I feel like we have said that a number of times over the year, where we have seen him at various things on his own, and he just seems to be, a bit lighter and like he's having a bit more fun. It looks like too that this professional separation is creeping into Christmas plans.
That's right. So Harry is one of the things he absolutely loves is Scotty's Little Soldiers. It's a charity for children who have lost their parents through warfare.
Harry's behavior in recent years has become increasingly contradictory. He speaks about healing and mental health, yet publicly criticizes his own family. He claims to value his children's privacy, yet profits from exposing private moments in high-profile deals. The pregnancy scandal has only amplified these inconsistencies, shaking his credibility. Once admired for breaking away from the royal system, Harry is now seen by many as lost, erratic, or complicit in a larger deception. With Meghan's image unraveling, his every move is being re-examined, and not in a flattering light. Meanwhile, the palace remains silent publicly, but is reportedly taking action behind the scenes. Officials are reviewing titles, finances, and remaining privileges tied to the Sussexes. This isn't retaliation, it's damage control. If the pregnancy claims are true, they undermine the entire Sussex narrative. The monarchy isn't just facing scandal, it's facing a credibility crisis, and that kind of fracture threatens the very foundation of the institution.
They say they hate journalists. Harry hates journalists. But to pay PR who say what you want and who, shape social perception in your favor while also disparaging and lying about others, thereby reaching their privacy, I think the whole, worldwide privacy tour is hysterical.
When your brand is built on authenticity, even a single lie can be catastrophic. Meghan and Harry turned their personal narrative into a global empire. Netflix deals, deals, Spotify exclusives, memoirs, and media accolades. But now that carefully crafted image is falling apart. Major companies are reportedly reassessing their partnerships, influencers have gone quiet, and once loyal fans feel betrayed. And perhaps the hardest pill to swallow, the children, used not for who they are, but as emotional leverage in a brand story designed to stir sympathy and secure profits. It's not the method of birth that offends people, it's the manipulation. The silence from Meghan and Harry, once so vocal, now feels like its own form of confession. What was once seen as a tale of resilience now looks more like a scripted performance. And as the trust evaporates, so does the audience. This isn't just a scandal, it's a reckoning, a royal fairy tale rewritten into a cautionary tale about the cost of deception.